What up, what up, what up? We're back. I'm rocking my Mikal Bridges, man. Let's go ahead and start it. The first playing games happened last night. I had some predictions, and I was wrong. I was wrong about one, right about another. I'm 1-1 on the playing game so far. Um, the Miami Heat lost, and I said something. I said I was worried about this being a, Trey Young, Atlanta Hawks type of revenge game. Nick McMillan's no longer there. Quinn Snyder. This was probably one of the first times we actually see Eric Spoelstra actually get out coach. And I'm gonna make a full breakdown about my Miami Heat later this week, talking about what we if not later once the season officially ends. I think we should win the 8-9 game depending on no matter who we play. But Jimmy Butler was not able to get it going for us last night. His touch around the rim wasn't just the buckets weren't falling. He was getting the lays. He was getting his usual looks. It just wouldn't go in last night. You got Bam coming out saying guys gotta get him the ball, but I just don't understand Bam. I feel like when Bam gets the ball, he's very weak when he goes up in his approach, and every game's where he want to dunk. But I really gotta give the Atlanta Hawks some really good, and this is the difference in between a team making acquisitions to make their team better and a team being very stagnant. And I'll give a full breakdown of this later in the later coming weeks about the Miami Heat, because I don't think whether we get out this playing or we're not going to beat the Bucks. I don't think we're going to beat the Bucks. I think it's going to be a 5-game series. We'll maybe get one game out of there. But this is a difference in a team trying to become better. Acquisitions like Sadiq Bey, helped out for them. That moves Bogdanovich to the bench. And Sadiq didn't have the best of games, but hey, another, just that acquisition. Clint Capela obviously coming back. He wasn't really healthy in the last time we played the Hawks in the series last year, and for him to have 21 rebounds. Let me just double check. I think it was 21 rebounds, right? 8 of them being offensive. The Miami Heat got out rebounded 63-39 yesterday. And Jimmy and Bam were in really no show. And shout out to, I was watching Mars on Player's Choice. He was talking about how Bam over switches, so it puts the Heat in pretty bad positions. We're a fairly small team. We're a small team. So when our center switches, it doesn't help when he switches everything. Although Bam can switch tremendously. And this is why I do agree that Bam is better suited at the 4. And you can see that where you need a center to help out with that. And, Bam would be better suited and be in the Jaren Jackson role, essentially. But we don't have a center like a Steven Adams or anybody else. I'm not Cody Zeller. I'm not on the Kevin Love phase. This is just, as a Heat fan, this was a very sad game to watch. Kyle Lowry was our best player. He looked like the version of Kyle Lowry we thought we were getting. And I don't think that same Kyle Lowry may show up next game. Tyler Hero defensively, we know he's an issue, but literally the Hawks, I believe, when Tyler Hero was the main defender guarding somebody, I think they shot like 70+% from the field, which is also absolutely ridiculous. But the big reason why we lost with boards, this was the first time I just watched the Miami Heat get punked. As a Miami Heat fan, I'm not used to that. There was no Heat culture at all yesterday. But shout out to the Hawks, man. Clint Capela looked like Wilt Capela. I thought I was watching Wilt Chamberlain the way he was getting to the boards, dominated, blocking shots. Clint looked like Houston Clint, and that was very scary, man. But shout out to the Hawks. They're going to be the 7th seed. They're going to play the Celtics. Once all the playing games are over, I'll give you my full bracket. I'm going to do it live right here and give you guys my full bracket. But, yeah, man, shout out to the Hawks getting that dub. I did not see that happening. I was talking shit on TikTok, Twitter, IG, but I was wrong. So, I was definitely wrong. Let's go ahead and get to Game 2. Game 2 gives me a lot of questions, right? And this is just a reoccurring thing for the Timberwolves where they get these leads and they just can't hold them and win the game. It kind of reminds me of like the Chargers where they're not able to, salt the game away and, in football terms, run the ball and get the clock down. When you were watching that game, when Cat wasn't in the game, you saw a lot of movement off ball, especially in the fourth quarter, third quarter, right? But the last 4 to 5 minutes of the game, there was there was absolutely no movement going on. Just the guy stopped cutting to the basket. It was look at Cat, look at Kyle Anderson, and let's see if we get a last minute shot. There were so many possessions I watched, like 3 or 4 possessions in the end of the game where Taurean Prince was getting the ball with 5 seconds and he was trying to make a move on LeBron. Like, I love Taurean Prince. He taught us what a rebound is, but he's not gonna, that's not him. Anthony Edwards was fairly disappointing. I know he got hurt towards the end of the game, so he was kind of hampered. But defensively he was there, but offensively, that's where we need you to be, Ant. You're Ant-Man. You have a nickname. You're an all-star this year. A lot of people, like myself, believe you could one day be one of the best players in this league, top 5. So, in these moments, we need you to show up. We need you to bounce back. But it also makes me discuss Chris Finch. Because Chris Finch, this is a reoccurring theme with this team. What is your messaging? Why are you not able to stop the bleeding when teams go on a run when you have the lead? This is something that they're going to have to figure out. Obviously, there was no Rudy Gobert. You don't have no Jaden McDaniels. And Cat was playing awesome until he got his 4th foul. And then, like, that 5th foul that he got was so unwarranted. That was a low basketball IQ moment there for Cat. And I believe he will learn from it. I believe Ant will learn from it. I believe this team will advance. And they will win that playing game. But Ant's going to need to bounce back. Because this makes me question, like, where I see him moving forward in the future as one of the best players in the league. He had a lot of mental lapses last year. Even Cat, too. So, I need them both to step up. But for the Lakers, I am not as confident as I was after watching that game. I expect them to honestly blow them out. The way that game came to the wire, Braun isn't the same Braun. Yeah, he had 30 points, but it doesn't feel like the 30 points when you used to remember Braun. And that's okay. He's in year 20. Anthony Davis, offensively, he really didn't start getting going until Cat obviously couldn't foul. And he had his 5th foul, so he had to play a little easier. But he was there on the rebounding side. But Dennis Schroeder had an amazing game. Mike Conley was amazing for the Timberwolves as well. And this was like a theme for the Timberwolves and the Heat. Like all season, for example, with the Miami Heat, it was a Jimmy, Hero, Bam show carrying them. But yesterday you had games from Kyle Lowry, from other people, but Bam and Jimmy didn't show up. And then last night, 4th quarter, it was all Mike Conley, Prince bucket here, and Anthony Edwards didn't show up offensively in the game at all. There was possessions I was watching Anthony Edwards. I'm like, Dennis Schroeder's on you. No, Dennis Schroeder's a good defender, but I feel like Ant should win that matchup. Same thing when Austin Reeves is on him. When Jared Vanderbilt, that's understandable. When he would catch the ball, stare, look, dribble, pick up his dribble. I'm like, what is going on? I know he was injured, so I'm kind of giving him a little leeway there, but sometimes you got to get through that injury. Because there was a point when he came back and somebody hit him on the shoulder, like, to clap him up, and he was like, like, you can see that did come on the television. But at the end of the day, I know I need Anthony Edwards to be better. I need him to be the person that I thought he was going to be. And is the number 1 overall pick in the draft. So there's high aspirations for Anthony Edwards. So he has to be better, man. Sad to see the Heat go, but I think they're going to win. I got the Bulls losing tonight, so I got the Raptors playing. And then I also got the Pelicans winning tonight. So it's going to be Timberwolves, Pelicans for me. I got the Timberwolves, and then I got the Heat, Raptors, and I got the Heat winning that, man. Till next time, man, my name is Wayne. You guys will get another video tomorrow.